Give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime. Perhaps the most quoted proverb in educational settings, and yet every day teachers are giving fish. They give assignments with prescribed paths, a mandated objective, assessments that ask for the fish to be given back. Learning should be about fishing and not being given fish. There are 4 fundamentals of learning: inquiry, discovery, feedback, and reflection. When instructional practices are aligned with these fundamental principles, students are engaged in their own learning rather than the teacher's instruction. Each plays a specific and significant role in the learning process. Learning is initiated by inquiry, driven by discovery, fueled by feedback, and reinvigorated by reflection. This isn't a linear or cyclical formula. It is messy and complex practice that students can be taught so that they can do it on their own. Here's what it looks like in the end. Let's take the time to break it down. Learning is initiated by inquiry. What better way to define inquiry than by using Bloom's taxonomy? Learners are engaged through higher order questions: analyze, evaluate, create. Their learning and the solution to the question is supported through answering lower order questions: remember, understand, and apply. The traditional classroom assignment is the opposite. Tell students the lower order answers and hope they can use that to answer the higher order questions. Question storming is a strategy where participants ask over 25 questions regarding a specific topic or issue. It allows learners to both practice the art of inquiry and develop a focused interest in finding the solution or explanation. The initial phases of design thinking are specifically structured to help designers define the actual question or problem in a needed solution. So now that the learning is initiated, the process continues by diving into discovery. Discovery and inquiry are closely connected, and the process should build on these 2 fundamentals, especially at the beginning. Never in the history of the world have we had the tools, access, and information to be learners. With each question or inquiry that comes up, a learner has thousands of assistants to gather information: artificial intelligence, search engines, database, personal assistants, libraries, both physical and digital, and so much accessible and collectible data. Learners can discover on their own, ask new questions, and drive their learning because of these accessible tools. A simple reminder for instructors to help discovery happen is get out of the way. Instead of giving students all the basic facts through a worksheet, lecture, textbooks, give them some key search words or phrases that will help them as they research solutions, making sure that the end result or objective is not a Googleable answer. They will need time to do this, so suppress the instructor instinct of wanting to help. Tell learners they are on their own for 7 minutes. You can choose the time and see where they go with it. It is inevitable that the deeper the discovery goes, inquiry will be revealed and deeper learning will occur. These discoveries will lead to assumptions. Those assumptions are going to need feedback. Sometimes the feedback comes through the discovery process, but other times the feedback needs to be structured so that the learners can test their assumptions. Feedback is not good or bad. It is just feedback. It is how the receiver perceives the information shared. Feedback becomes the fuel to learn more when the learner accepts this fact. It will bring up new inquiries, solidify or question assumptions, and define the next steps, which could be going back to the drawing board or moving forward. When feedback is accepted in learning, final products improve and confidence in assumption making increases. Protocols like Critical Friends are a quick and efficient way to give feedback. And less than 7 minutes, a person can receive clear feedback from a group of people and build on the learning needed for quality solution. Sticky notes are a powerful means for feedback. They can be placed in a specific spot, be reorganized, or categorized. They are a way for lots of people to give feedback at the same time. Returning to design thinking, the process is asking for feedback all along the way, but especially when ideating, prototyping, and testing phases are reached. After receiving feedback, there should be at least a dip back, if not a full-scale return to discovery to check and verify the information received. Once the learner is ready, it is time to create. This creation might be a final answer, a presentation, an oral or written communication, a product or prototype, a creative performance, an event. The possibilities are endless. This is where typically the teacher would go into assessment mode. Reflection is where the learners learn what was learned. Reflecting gives the learner the time to consider how the process took place, what was the path, and how it ended. Reflecting gives the opportunity for new learning, and just like a Hot Wheels power booster, as the learning slows down to the finish line, it reinvigorates and is sent flying at full speed. The best strategy for reflection is a mini version of the learning process. Remember, reflecting is learning what was learned. A well thought out initial question will lead the learner's reflection on the process and seeing the progress made. Journaling allows for a captured reflection that stares back at the learner like a self-reflection mirror. One of the greatest keys to the reflection process is that it is captured. This will allow learners to revisit it and use it to reinvigorate old learning and initiate new inquiries. Finally, there are two paths through the middle that can't be overlooked. Reflection should have a direct connection with discovery. Reflecting on the discovery process gives learners a means to evaluate their discovery process, and reflection should bring up elements that need to be researched further. Quality feedback will bring up questions and initiate new inquiries. An instructor can focus on instruction that gives fish or on instruction that teaches fishing. The fundamentals of learning need time and space for learners to engage in learning instead of engaging in instruction. These principles and strategies are only the beginning of what we can do to focus on learning.